Hey vinyl community, I am back from London. I am here in Canada, and when I left London it was heat wave, and I returned home and it's pretty much the same. But I'm not going to complain because come winter time in my videos you'll see me complaining about the cold. So I'll take it where I can get it. What you're going to see in this video is my finds from London, starting where my last video left off. When I ended my last video, I still had another week or 10 days, whatever it was, of time in London. And then I believe my second day back here in Canada, I just popped up quickly and I found a few things at the thrift stores here. But first of all, for the first time back in Canada, cheers everyone. A couple of really quick things about London. If you want to use the fader to skip ahead, go ahead. I don't want to listen to me either. Anyways, for those of you who've not been to London, I can't remember if this is my third or fourth time in a row that I've gone to London. But just really quickly about what I did there, other than I went to about 17 record stores or record stalls in markets and stuff like that, car boot sales. I went and saw The Cure with, who was there? Cure, Interpol, Goldfrapp, Twilight Sad, a few other bands. Oh, well, there was a lot of bands, but I didn't see them all. There was about 65,000 to 70,000 people at Hyde Park, which was insane. And the night before that, although I didn't have tickets for it because I didn't know what was going on, but Roger Waters was playing the same venue in Hyde Park. So I went outside Hyde Park and listened to Roger Waters. And that was pretty amazing. And record shopping. That's what I did. Actually, I had a really great time. This is probably my best time in London. In so much that I spent an extended period of time there where usually my wife and I, we hop from city to city to city around Europe, and we decided this year just to stay put and spend 2 weeks in London. Really quickly about record shopping in London, and if you're from there or you're familiar, you might want to once again skip ahead. This is all stuff you know. London isn't really a place you go for grails. They are there. I saw my fair share of 500-pound albums, and I saw one for 800 pounds on the wall of a record store, which was, I think, a bit excessive. I think they were trying to tourist to bite on that one. Vertigo swirls were usually the ones that were hundreds and hundreds of dollars in London. But because once again, with population density, you're battling a million other record shoppers in London. Whereas where I'm from, you're battling probably a hardcore group of 1,000 maybe. So really, it's a lot easier in Canada to come across those grails, as you see by my videos. But having said that, there's a lot of good deals. It's a really great place to go to fill holes in your collection for singles. A lot of kind of bog standard albums that are bog standard to people in London, but not here so much. So that's my experience record shopping in London. And you have to really pay attention to the stores you're going to, because a couple of the stores I went to were just pure out and out electronica, techno kind of stores. You know, and even though I know lots about different kinds of music, this was, you know, what was that store called? Phonica in Soho. That was all pure electronic music. And for as much as I thought I knew about music, I didn't recognize 95% of the music in that store. Thank God there's a lot of other stores in Soho there. I didn't really waste my time too much. But really pay attention to the stores you're going to. Car boot sales, I found some really good stuff. Just stalls and markets. It was a Broadway market, Brick Lane market, one of those two anyways. Really good time, and I'm 4 minutes in. I would be remiss if I didn't talk about it. Like I said, this was, God, I can't remember now, 3rd or 4 summers in a row now I've gone, and I'll be going again next year. The Cure concert was part of a concert series in Hyde Park called British Summertime, I believe it was called. I had no awareness of that. I just know that we were going to go see The Cure and one of my wife's favorite bands called the Twilight Sad. And The Cure was bookended by Roger Waters before and Eric Clapton after. And I think next year, if they have that same concert series, I might pick up tickets for more concerts in and around. Because that would have been great to see Eric Clapton and Stevie Winwood and all the people he had playing with him. So when I get all senile, which is a matter of months, I can look back at this video and remind myself, oh fuck, I went to London. That's right, I forgot. Anyways, let's get right to this. I got one new album to show you, and I got one album I'm looking over there that came in the mail today. I'm going to do a separate video for, because it's an album that's very precious to me, that I kind of want to do a separate video on. But the one new album that I wanted to show you that came in, that was waiting for me when I got home, was the new Johnny Marr, called The Comet. His last album was bought to me by my wife for Christmas on the recommendation of a gentleman named Jason, who I DJ with, my 80s nights. And I think it was called Playland, and I loved it so much that I pre-ordered this one. It was like 16 bucks on Amazon, which is like £2. And that's the other thing about London. Late last night, all my credit card charges popped up. All my stuff I spent on in London, and that's the other thing too when you're record shopping in London, is our dollar. I don't know what it is exactly. I'm guessing it's like 58 cents. For it's, you know, it's like half. So really, you're paying double the amount almost for records. So you really gotta pick and choose what you're buying in London and anywhere in Europe, really. But I don't even know how I got on that topic. Johnny Marr's new album, though. It's the senility. It's creeping in. Pre-ordered this album for 16 bucks. That's how I got on it. Price. That's how. I intentionally did not listen to anything in advance. I wanted to wait till I put it on the turntable when I got home. And already it's one of my albums of the year. Flat out. I did read a lot of reviews just because of boredom in London and whatnot. And everyone was kind of singing its praises. And it's all that. If you're, it's a lot harder rocking. It's more in your face than, let's say, Morrissey's last album, which was great, but that was kind of more music hall. Great. Morrissey, great. But this is more kind of direct. Great album. Great album. I highly recommend. You have to be predisposed to like Johnny Marr, but great album. Probably his best solo album, in my opinion. All right, let's get right to this. A lot of the details for these are kind of lost in the midst of time, even though I've only been home for about 4 days. If I can remember, just an FYI for those of you who might be going to London, some of the record stores I picked these up at. This was at, and some of these I may have showed you last video. Sorry. You've already forgotten my last video. Trust me, you have. What was this? This was, I got the bag I'm looking at right over there. It's, I can't remember what the store's called now. It'll come to my head. Anyways, it's a store that has like 3 or 4 locations in London. It's a really good Flashback. Flashback Records. I think there's 3 of them in London. One of them is not so great, and one of them is really great. And I picked up, these are, a lot of these are singles for my legacy box I talked about in the past, a box of singles that are really important to me that I'll leave for my kids and my wife. Because my wife will kill me soon if I buy any more records. Bauhaus, Telegram Sam, obviously original pressing. The cover of the T-Rex song, Bauhaus, Telegram Sam. Some of these I showed you last video, but I'm just going to, for context, Smith singles. Very, very rare birds here in Canada indeed. But I did pick up The Boy with a Thorn in His Side. William, It Was Really Nothing. All original Rough Trade Records pressing. Shakespeare's Sister, I think I showed you that one last video. That Joke Isn't Funny Anymore. And this is the original uncensored sleeve of Hand in Glove. And I believe there was a censored version brought out after this because it has a naked arse. Anyways, those are some of my Smith signs. Depeche Mode, you guys all know I'm a Depeche Mode collector. I'm all over the map for collecting records, but I have this single, but I've never seen it with a band sticker on it, but Master and Servant. It's got a sticker on it, and I don't know why. It doesn't look like it was applied on after the fact, because the sticker along their timeline matches this exact record, so I'm not sure if that came out and I didn't know about it. It's a variant I don't have, Master and Servant, UK pressing. Bong 6 for those mute collectors. Split ends. I thought these I might have showed you, but I'm a big split ends fan. I've talked about this before. They were massive in Canada. I think I've said this before, but per capita, they were more popular in Canada than anywhere else in the world, apart from New Zealand and Australia. But a copy of History Never Repeats, and this, much like the album's True Colors it came off of, it came on, there you go, laser etched vinyl. And I have One Step Ahead, I believe, that is also laser etched pressing. And then a copy of Poor Boy. Split ends, there's Neil Finn, Tim Finn and the boys. Like I said, this is really great to fill in a lot of holes in my collection. Black Sabbath. Probably overall my favorite Black Sabbath song called Die Young I picked up. An original Vertigo Records 7-inch. There's Dio, if you can make him out. He's very tiny, so you have to look close. He's there somewhere. Like I said, original Vertigo Records pressing of Die Young. That goes in the aforementioned box. Like I said, probably my favorite Black Sabbath song, oddly, and it's not Ozzy. One final one of singles that I'm going to show you. Like I said, there's a lot of stuff I picked up because. Megadeth. Holy Wars, the Punishment Due. There you go. And it's backed with Lucretia. Megadeth 7-inch, I was really happy to find that one. That was like I said, I kind of still kept within my 1 to 5 pound range for singles, although the Smiths hand in glove exceeded that. But a lot of these were like 99 pence. This one had a £6 pound tag on it, then it was reduced to a pound at Sister Ray, I believe. There you go. Records, full-on records. Like I said, some of you who follow me on my Facebook page, on my personal one, or the YouTube vinyl community will have seen me post these in London. A German pressing, I didn't know it was German until I got home, of Hawkwind, Do, Re, Mi, Fa, Sol, La, La, Ti, Do. A lot of people asked me when I posted it, does it have the poster in it? And no, it does not have a poster in it. But really nice silver foil. I haven't looked up on Discogs what pressing it is. It's an earlier United Artists pressing from Germany. So looking forward, that's another one for my Hawkwind collection. Caravan, an original Durham pressing UK gatefold of In the Land of Grey and Pink. Beautiful condition on that one. This one, a lot of these I found at Oxfam. And as I found out, usually near Oxfams, there's other kind of smaller thrift stores, or charity shops as you call them. Not to confuse matters. But, which is kind of the same way here. There'll be a big thrift store and there's a couple of small ones in and around the area. To kind of capitalize on the big one. Sorry, I got sleep in my eye. So some of these were from Oxfam. Some of these were from the small little places in and around Oxfams. A lot of people told me that charity shops weren't that great, but I found a lot of good stuff. I guess it's all relative to what you're looking for. But this one I just picked up because it was 99 pence. And a lot of people were really, really thrilled to see this when I posted this on the YouTube vinyl community, is the original German pressing of Simply Red Stars. There's the original H&B tag on it for $6.99, 7 pounds, I guess. But that was a pound, I guess, from Germany. It's from German. Anyways, the only song I ever knew from this album was the song Stars, because that was a hit here as well as the UK, but I did play this album, and I really liked it, and I wasn't expecting anything of it. I just picked it up because. Bentley Rhythm Ace. Some of you, if you're from the UK, you might know Bentley Rhythm Ace. This is a double album, the original pressing of their album, their first album, possibly their only album. But Bentley Rhythm Ace were an electronic band from, what year is this? Early 90s. And they were an offshoot of the band Pop Will Eat Itself, which is one of my favorite bands from the UK. I believe it was the drummer and maybe one other member, Fuzz Townsend and someone else. I believe they went on to do this band, and they had a few club hits off this album, which you never see this album here on vinyl. I have the CD, but it was never even big enough here to import copies over of the full-length album. But this was at I can't remember what store this was now. Love Records, maybe. Reckless Records. It was in there outside all the stores. Usually they have little milk crates of dollar records or pound records, and that was there. Beautiful condition copy of Bentley Rhythm Ace. You might know the song Let There Be Flutes if you're so inclined to be into electronic music. U2, this was definitely at an Oxfam for pound. A 12-inch copy of Even Better Than the Real Thing, which I don't have. And I do collect U2 stuff. So that was a nice find. I didn't have that one. Like I said, let's get to this one. This one was a really cool one, actually. Rush. This might be my little screen cap because, you know, Rush brings in the clicks. If you're a nerd like me. There you go. What this is a 12-inch single, Rush Live, and I believe this was released to coincide with their what live album is this off of? Exit Stage Left, and it's Tom Sawyer, Red Barchetta, and A Passage to Bangkok, which is one of my favorite Rush songs. But I got that at one of those stores. How amazing is that? You bring these home and people go goo goo gaga because Rush is so big in Canada, but you never see these kind of things here. So that was a really nice find. One more time. I think that might be it for the London stuff I'm going to show you. Is it? Oh yeah, something like Utah Saints. Like, I love early 90s club music because I used to go to a lot of clubs then, you know, and around that rave area. I love Utah Saints. This is Believe in Me, 12-inch. Kind of almost like a double A side because the B side is What Can You Do For Me? Both of them were kind of singles, but Utah Saints, nothing fancy. It was a pound. I like the band. And some of these were finds from a couple days before I left, from our thrift stores here in my city. And some of these were from a couple days ago. First of all, just not vinyl, but a CD box set of the Tragically Hip, Hipperonymous. I even had time to take the tag off at $6.50 for a Tragically Hip box set. 4 discs, 2 CDs, and 2 DVDs. And a nice big fat ass booklet in here. But that was one of my favorite thrift store finds in a long time, is the Tragically Hip box set. I'm not sure if this is in print anymore. I'm sure since Gord Downey passed away, I'm sure they've reintroduced it as a item you can buy. But that was before I left for London. I found this Tragically Hip box set, 4 discs. Automatic Fine Tuning on Charisma Records. I had to look this one up. It looked interesting. Automatic Fine Tuning ends up being a kind of electronic with guitar progressive rock band from 1976. It has some stickerware, which I'll be able to get off, but it seems to be quite a valuable album on Discogs. It's on that Charisma label. Don't you all worry, I'm touching the sides. Nothing's touching the record itself. Don't worry. Record's fine. Anyways, Automatic Fine Tuning, or AFT. Just picked it up on a lark, locally, for a couple bucks, and it ends up being a really good progressive rock album. Side 2, what is on side 2? Is it all one? Side 1 is all one long song, and there's not vocals in it until like much later in the track, but I quite liked it. Automatic Fine Tuning, or AFT, on Charisma Records, 1976. Decent little progressive rock album, I have to say. Link Wray. I'm not sure if I showed this one, but I found this before I left. Absolutely, a little bit of coverware, but the vinyl itself is in stunning condition. Link, I can't remember what year this was now. I'm drawing a blank. This is the original die-cut sleeve of Link Wray album, self-titled, on Polydor. Very sought-after album, as I find out later. I just like playing with Link Wray's head. It goes for a few bucks, and I picked it up for, what was it, $1.99 locally? Whatever it was. It's probably early 70s, if I recall right. I haven't looked it up since I left for London, but I found that before I left for London. Link Wray, self-titled, on Polydor Records, on original die-cut sleeve. Wes Montgomery, Going Out of My Mind, arranged by Oliver Nelson. Wes Montgomery, obviously, we all know, is jazz guitar player. Original Verve Records pressing. And once again, I'm brain farting on the year. It doesn't sound right, but it's original Verve Records pressing anyways, of Wes Montgomery, Going Out of My Mind. Picked that up for $1. Black Uhura, Anthem. Don't know anything about this album. It was part of that haul I got before I left. This is probably an early 80s album, I am guessing anyways, from Black Uhura. Redbone. What movie, what soundtrack they were? They were on Guardian of the Galaxies. And they kind of had a little bit of a renaissance, as they say, because of that soundtrack. And a lot of people have been kind of seeking out Redbone albums. Go figure. But I found a quadraphonic Redbone album for $1. And it's called Message from a Drum. There's the quadraphonic quad album. In beautiful condition, too. And I said, what year is this? Anyways, I don't remember, and I'm tired of straining my brain thinking of it. But it's U.S. pressing in the shrink. So, yeah, look at this beautiful quadraphonic recording of Redbone. I only know those couple big Redbone albums, 'cause I have them in my collection. But I've never heard this album, and I'll play this when I'm done this video. But, yeah, I picked that up for $1. There you go. 2 albums that I found. One's well, I'm going to show one to you. And if you're a country music fan, you don't need to be. But you know what? See if you can spot the difference. I've showed you this album before, and I picked this up yesterday, I believe, or the day before, at a local thrift store. Marty Robbins, Gunfighter, Ballads, and Trail Songs. Maybe one of the most sought-after country albums when I kind of sell records at fairs. I can't really keep it in stock. People always pick this. It's one of those albums that people usually have to have. But this is the copy I found. And one thing tipped me off that's a little bit different. See if you can spot it. Okay, it's that logo right there. This is a UK pressing of Marty Robbins' Gunfighter Ballads, which I've never seen. I've found first pressings. I've found, 2i logo ones. I've found all kinds of ones. But this is the first time I've ever seen a UK pressing of this album in just beautiful condition. One of those country albums that, if you want to dip your toe into older country, one of those albums that's kind of essential. But, yeah, beautiful UK pressing. And this isn't going to shake the tree or it's not going to bowl anyone over. But Bill Haley in the comments. This is a pressing from France I found called Rock. And what's interesting about Bill Haley when I find albums every now and again by Bill Haley at thrift stores. They're usually kind of later ones when you're past his prime that labels kind of reissued and cobbled songs together and kept on reissuing albums and songs you never heard of that kind of sounded like hits that weren't. If you know what I mean. You probably don't know what I mean. Because I actually, now that I think about it, I don't even know what I mean. But this one is actually a French pressing. And it has all his actual hits on it, which is a rare thing for me to find. I don't think I've ever found one of his albums with all of his hits on it. Like it's Rock Around the Clock, See You Later, Alligator, Rock the Joint, Skinny Mini, but all original versions of his hits, which is the reason why I picked this up for $1. So I do like old rock and roll, like like a lot of stuff, but old rock and roll. His original hits on a pressing from France called Rock. Do I have anything else to show you? I probably do, but you know what? We're gonna end it there. Once again, thank you everyone for watching my last video and my videos in general. Let me take one more drink before we end this video. It's too hot to drink coffee today. Watch out for some more videos coming up. I have at least 2 I'm filming this week. I have the rest of the week off, so I'll have time to film some videos for posting later. And apart from that, thank you for... If you're with me on Facebook or whatever, Instagram, blah, 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 thank you for keeping with me on my trip. I did post a lot of stuff. And you all know on Facebook I don't post a lot of stuff, so it was one of those rare times that I kind of flooded you all with stuff, but thank you for keeping up with me. I do appreciate that. And that's going to be it for out-of-country shopping for a while, until probably next summer. So I had a really good time. And I kind of really enjoyed my keeping it within budget and just finding a lot of really kind of interesting to me things anyways. Cheap finds. Anyways. You have any questions about London record shopping, let me know. I think this was my 4th time digging in London, so I would call that experienced, more or less. Anyways, take care everyone, thank you, and we'll see you next time. David Michael signing off.